my model of who I should follow is, for me, it's the greatest man that ever lived, which is Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I can't, and
I went to Catholic school.
right.
I went to Catholic school, and I learned a lot from there. But to be honest, I was involved with a Christian organisation for about 12 years,
Mm,
and some of the things I've learned, more so reading now on the messages. And
mm.
if you, for me anyway, personally, for me, if I read the Bible, I find like I get a light bulb in my brain,
Yeah,
the
okay.
light just lights up. So, and I just seem to seem to really enjoy understanding, and it just opens things up and pathways up in my brain. I find, so that's what I'm about. But I'm also very pro-humanitarian. So, see, a lot of Christians are shying away of what's going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
About, I don't understand what. And there's also other people. I mean, some will say we're just neutral, but then yeah, a bit. I'd say about 12 years, brother. About 12 years. Someone's asking me in the comments. About
Mm.
12 years. Not now. Well, now I'd say about 15, 16 years maybe, but more seriously into it. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm 100% practicing,
Yeah.
but I would say that that is the pathway that I
Mm.
go
I,
go
I
with.
I
Yeah.
think Christ is the nearest thing to the truth, is what I would
Yeah.
say. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people like to argue semantics about where he's God, the Son of God, all these different things. For me personally, it's not an issue. It's not part of my thing. So it's like you said, it's just who he was, and
Yeah.
everything about
And
that. You know.
I've got a really good Christian friend. I've known him for years and years.
Mm.
Lovely guy, a fantastic person. But he just seems to think that whatever's going on, um, God, Israel are God's chosen people. But scripturally, if we were to go, hi there, I don't know who you are, but if you identify yourself, I can talk. But I think scripturally speaking,
Mm.
um, it's very clear. The Apostle Paul says murderers will not inherit God's kingdom. It's quite clear. So
I'm totally against Israel. I
yeah,
don't support anything that Israel's doing. Obviously, I'm Irish, and even Ireland are very strongly aligned with the Palestinians. And I just think what happened on October 7th was terrible, but the response since has been 50 times, 60 times more terrible. And the numbers and just everything, from
yeah.
Gaza to, do you know,
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. Yes, brother. I'm from let this guy know. Yes, I'm from Wolves. Do you know me? If you do, feel free to, if you want to come in, come in. We're open to have a good, sensible conversation. As I'm speaking to this guy here. Yeah, no. So I thought, uh, it's what the Irish are actually standing up for themselves in terms of saying that they don't agree with what's going on, which is and they went through there. I don't know the full history of the
Mm.
Irish, but I believe they went through such like hardships as well. Yes,
Really?
brother, my name's just start with V. Yes. Some people
Who,
are asking me questions on there. Yeah, V.
who,
Come on,
who,
identify yourself. Yes, it's Vikas. That's my name.
who are you referring to, standing up for themselves, the Palestinians or the
Well,
Jewish?
I mean, the Irish are saying, well, she's just not on. Just not on. It's not on.
I think it's not even about religion or anything. It's from, on an individual level for me, and I think probably for you, it's a humanitarian thing. It's just
Yeah.
completely
I went to a meeting with a political party prior to me getting involved in a little bit of politics, and they were sitting there and they were talking about the town in general. Yeah, they were talking about the town in general, and they were mentioning, they said, "What this says, Vikas, you come to our first meeting. This is what's the biggest issue to you?"
Mm.
And I said one of the reasons why I've come. I said one of the biggest issues to me is what's going on over there, the murderous campaign that is going on with the killing of innocent people,
Mm.
and the kids being sniped,
David
etc.
and Goliath, isn't it?
I
Really?
think it's absolutely disgusting. And they all sat there, this group with this political party, and they says, "Would you stand for us in this area? We want you to get involved more with us." And I said, "Yeah, I will." And that's when I first stood in the area. But
So
for
that's
me,
in
and I was not at that point in time. I wasn't really impelled to take on any politics,
mm,
and the reason being was I, I thought, well, being a Christian, it's got nothing to do with. But you know what? When you go back and look at what Jesus did, he stood up for what was morally right, and
yeah.
you just can't take. You know what? One thing I don't do is get involved in Christian. I get involved in things that are morally right and wrong, but I don't get involved in when people say, "Oh, it's a Trinity" or "it isn't a Trinity." People try and argue the fact that they've got the truth and you haven't. I think the ultimate the ultimate message is the message of love.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
the people say, "Do I believe Jesus died for my sins?" All of that. I don't know. I really haven't thinking around that. I just know what happened to him and who he was and what he taught. That's really enough for me. It doesn't. I would say he's the nearest thing to God at the moment.
Are you when you say on Speaker's Corner? What kind of things do you do on there? Do you like kind
I
of do
stream.
your own content or?
I do, yeah. I live stream. So basically, I get I go up about midday on a Sunday. I have my chair that I carry on my arm. It's like a fold-up chair, and I pack up loads of stuff from Sainsbury's, for like meal deals and stuff. And then I just go up and I have my selfie stick and my camera and my power bank, and I do all that.
I'd like to. I'm trying to find out how to follow. I'm clicking on your name. It doesn't give me the option to follow you, so I'm trying to follow you on here.
Is it not?
Uh,
Should do.
no, let's go on guests. Uh, it's not allowing me to. I don't know why, but what I'll do is if you follow me, I'll follow you back.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
think if anybody can sometimes, yeah, you followed me there. I'll follow you back in a bit. I'm kind of new to the live things, the live setup. So I mean, it did give me an option yesterday, so I'm a bit confused. I'm still getting to know it, I suppose. Um, Thank you, brother. Thank you if you came across me. I don't know whether you found it, whether it was interesting. Feel free to have a look at my videos, etc. Yeah, so
What's your background?
I mean, I like it when I meet someone, I can bounce off them and
Yeah, no,
we can
absolutely.
talk about what's going on
Mm.
and what's not going on. I mean, some people. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen on TV that they're going on about, well, is it genocide, or arguing about the fact that
Okay,
is it
yeah,
genocide?
yeah,
The,
yeah.
the truth is,
When you
there's
see the images, I mean, there's a destruction. The whole Gaza is complete destruction.
yeah, yeah.
What could it be anything other than the G word? And I don't think you can use it on here, oddly enough.
Mm.
The Czech fuck language.
Yeah, yeah. What church is asking me what church I go to? I've been to a couple actually. So I've got my own. I don't try and get into too many arguments about doctrines. I used to. 12 years ago, I was very much involved, and I've been knocking doors and evangelizing. But I don't do that anymore, to be honest. And
What's your background? Are you Asian?
yes, yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay.
My father was born. It was Pakistan sides back then,
Yeah.
and then they had the partition, and then we went to India.
Right.
And then from there, well, I wasn't there. My dad came here. My mom was born in Africa, in Kenya.
Okay, that's the big diaspora from India, no?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that went from India to Africa, and then I think it's Idi Amin kicked them out,
Yes, right. I've met a lot of them that
they
went
came
to.
here. So I was born when we came into the UK. I've got an older brother and a younger one as well. So yeah, and yeah, that's kind. And my dad was more. My dad was. See, India used to be one,
Hmm.
and
Hindustan, no?
yeah, and then it became Pakistan and India, and we lived on the. My dad lived on the Pakistan side. But he said it was. He told me stories years ago and said he's seen some terrible times, coming through when they were coming over the border. They were only kids, where they were killing each other over looting, killing, murdering.
I'm assuming you've seen the film Gandhi, no?
Mm.
Did you see the film Gandhi? Yeah.
I have seen the film. Yes, I have seen the film. As a matter of fact, I admire him. He actually tried to emulate Jesus Christ by non-violence, didn't he? He didn't want them,
Yeah.
and he quoted the words from the scriptures as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, smart guy. Billionaires joined. Billionaires probably going to come in. He likes to talk about property, etc. So
So,
he wants to come in.
what's your name?
My name's Vikas.
Vikas
Yeah,
Damien.
I'm well known for training and development, etc. Teaching courses and so forth.
And
Uh,
would you say, Vikas, you align more to India or Pakistan?
what do you mean by align more to?
Where would you say your culture is more, Indian or Pakistan? I know you said your father was Pakistani, but
I'd say Indian, Punjabi, really. I get confused. People look at the beard and they think I'm Pakistani, but I mean,
I couldn't really see the beard. You point to the
well,
section.
okay, here we go. Yeah, but it's not going to be done.
Yeah. I go to India a lot. So I might go in October. So I hang out in Goa. You know Goa?
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I travelled most of India. I've been all around India. So I think India's main.
Just hold on. Can you just hold on? I think someone's at my door. I think. Sorry, buddy.
That's all right, because sorry.
I just thought someone was at the door.
You living on your own?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, you're like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I live stream from. I go up on a live stream and I just put. I've only started live streaming recently. I used to just do videos and then put them up when I came home, and then I've kind of just upped my game a little bit, and so now I go up and I just turn the camera on and I just walk around with the selfie stick and film. Get about 10, 15 viewers. Usually, last Sunday I got 1,000 viewers.
Wow.
Yeah, but not all at one time. So you can see the stats, afterwards.
Yeah.
So and I got gifts, things, and not a huge amount, but I make it like it.
Well, I mean, if somebody wants to gift you content, and I think it's good. I mean, I find some of the stuff that you're saying, I find it very interesting because you're talking about, you're actually talking about, what's going on and Christianity or whatever. I just like to get to know different people. Am I looking for a church? Someone's asked me if I'm looking for a church. Somebody asked me that question. A couple of people have asked me that question. Sometimes the thing is, when I get involved with a particular church, they try and tie me in with doctrine,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's where I get stuck.
Because you're your own person.
Because of the doctrines that I've been taught.
Yeah.
But I'm open to attending another church and speaking to different people and making more connections. So I'm open to do that.
Yeah, no, I think with me, I've come to Christianity really from a spiritual background. So I've come through what I would say is things that happened metaphysically to me
Okay.
about 20 years ago. So I had a few things that left me in no doubt that there's something else going on and that we continue on. And I'd probably be more down the line of the Buddhist kind of thing. So it's the soul goes on and it has consciousness and awareness. So I had an experience by 20. It was the beginning of experience. I started experiencing things, and I experienced myself outside my body in real time, literally. And I was in something the size of a coin. But I was looking back at myself separately to my body. So that was my first thing, and it made me realize I'm not my body. I'm something separate. So having that awareness outside the body and looking back and thinking, oh my God, that's me reading a book on the bed, completely close over. And that was the beginning of quite a lot of different experiences that happened. So I kind of went through having that awareness of something other, higher than myself. And I've been shown things, and that's why I've come that pathway to Christianity. But I am a Catholic by birth because I'm brought up on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, someone's asked me, have I tried All Nations service? I haven't. Steve Upper, I do know him actually, but he doesn't know me. Um, I would like to attend at some point. I'd come down. Yeah, I would definitely come down. Yeah. I have met him, but it was back when I was doing security at a banqueting suite some time ago. So he doesn't really know who I am. Is your name Steve Upper? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, no. So that's interesting. So what kind of are you at a church now? Do you
No,
go to?
no. I'm just at the moment. I'm just kind of working my way through the Bible. So I basically downloaded the KJV app.
Yeah.
So I've kind of managed to get through Genesis, which is a big book.
Mm.
Do you know Gaza is actually mentioned by name as Gaza in Genesis?
Well,
Which I was really shocked by. And of course, when I went on to some streams, Muslim streams, and they asked me why was I shocked by that, I was just shocked that it wouldn't have had that long ago. It wouldn't have been known by a different name. I was shocked that it was even at that 5,000 years ago. It was still known as Gaza, and it means spiritual struggle. That's the meaning of the word. So I found that interesting. So I'm just working my way through the text. I'm halfway through Exodus. I'm a little bit through Matthew. I'm kind of reading here and there and trying to just familiarize more about educating myself, joining dots about who people are. I have a Muslim friend, not close friend, but somebody I meet over kind of food and coffees and stuff. And he was trying to explain to me the whole thing behind Israel, how Israel became Israel.
can you, just 1 second, I'll let you continue. Hold your thought. Okay, someone's just saying that they've been struggling, but this chat has really lifted them. Well, sir, I don't know who you are, but I hope you're okay. If you do feel like you need to talk, you can either jump in the chat if you want to. We have no issues with that. And I hope if you've been lifted, it's a good thing. And if you want to tell us how you've been lifted or why you've been lifted, or in terms of positivity, that's what we're all about here. And it's a good conversation going on with this this gentleman I'm speaking to.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Sorry, brother, what was you saying? Yeah. Hello, sir. How are you? Go on.
My name is Damien.
Uh-huh. Are you with the church at the moment? Are you? Or,
Sorry, me.
yeah.
No, no. So I keep getting a lot like you. I keep getting a lot of people saying, "Oh, do you want to go to a church?" And I'm just not at the point. I'm okay knowing where I'm at with my own personal beliefs because of things that have happened to me that I've been given, or shown. So I'm kind of okay with that.
Do you feel that you're getting, when people ask you, do you feel that you're going to get trapped into
Yeah,
a doctrinal belief that's going to
be their way.
I mean, the thing is, I look up, the Apostle Paul in the New Testament talks about. He goes knowledge. He goes, a lot of people will have knowledge. You might have the right knowledge, but the wrong attitude.
Yeah, totally.
And I say, well, you might have the right knowledge, but in Scripture it does say, well, knowledge puffs up pride.
Yeah.
So if knowledge is going to puff up your pride, yeah, but he says, but the ultimate thing is to be able to share love for one another, and that's a kind of route where I follow, which is like share the love with people when you see something. I mean, this is my argument with certain Christian organisations as well that say, oh, they're all for God and they're all for Jesus and they're all. But the thing is, they fail to talk about what's going on in the Middle East and expose it for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even Jews that have come forward and said, well, whatever's going on, it's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right and it shouldn't be happening.
I've seen I went on a couple of the Palestinian marches, and there was a lot of the Hasidic Jews on the march. The ones with the big hats and the kind of thing. And so and there was actually a story on Sky News a few days ago, and it was a Jewish soldier, IDF soldier, who came out anonymously, kind of behind camera. You could see him, but you couldn't make out his face. So they hid his image. But he basically he was told he had done 3 lots of service in Gaza, and he was basically told, unalive as many people as you can. Don't think about it.
Well, I've seen a video. Just use it. I've seen you in the gym. What gym have you seen me in? Okay. Well, say hello. Come when you come up if you see me in the gym. Nice to know who I'm talking to. I saw a video of an IDF soldier saying that he would love to take out as many kids.
Yeah, I've seen stuff.
It might be the same one we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen videos like that. Yeah. And it might be the same one. Yeah. And you're really shocked what you're hearing. Like there's no filter there. I think one of the big issues I have is that woman, that Israeli settler woman.
Yeah. Hi, Father John. How are you? I don't know who you are, but you know my name. Well, lovely to meet you. I probably do know you. I just can't see your picture. That's all. Sorry, brother. What was you saying?
Yeah, no, that Israeli settler woman. I can't remember what her name is. Do you know who I mean? A few weeks ago, what's his name? Louis Theroux done a documentary about her.
Yes. Yeah. And he went out there and did it. He did a great documentary, didn't he?
Yeah. She's a nightmare.
Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind me asking? Are you involved in some of the anti-war protests?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll speak and it's not. It's just I have a lot of stuff going on personally, but I will stand up and speak. In the sense of, for example, on debates online on TikTok, I will try to reason with people and to say don't confuse religions with what's going on. This is a humanitarian thing, and it's not about religion, even though it may be a particular religion causing the main aggressor in the thing. And I try to point out how one balance.
Thank you, Father John. Just DM me your details of where your meeting is, and I'll see if I can get there. Well, yeah. No, what's you saying, brother? Sorry.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I make my voice heard.
Please forgive me, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep up with some of the comments coming in, and
That's all right.
I apologise. I'm not. What was you saying? Sorry, you just mentioned.
I'd make my thoughts and my feelings known on the subject, but it wouldn't be out there right in the grime, so to speak, in the protests. I went to like I say, I've been on 2 of the Palestinian marches. I was I had to. I just didn't feel with all the amount of people that were being unalive, that I thought it's a humanitarian thing, and so I have to show my I got a lot of slack for not going on the Tommy Robinson marches.
Oh,
Yeah, and people who know me saying, "Oh, why aren't you supporting? You're not supporting your own nationality," and so all this nonsense. I don't support Tommy Robinson. That politics is not my politics. He's divisive as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, so I will always, I'll share. I will speak my truth, but it may not be in a very, but in a way that will be in protests or anything like that.
okay. I mean, I haven't been on many, but I've been speaking very vocally, creating content and throwing that about. Um, I got involved with a political party, the Workers' Party, George Galloway's party. I've been involved with them. I stood up to be an MP in Wolverhampton. So I mean that's what I've been involved in, and that was due to what was going on and trying to make a difference in the community as well as internationally as well. But I mean, I didn't win the seat, but it's not about the winning; it's about what you're doing and what you're showing, what you're saying. And people sometimes,
It's about standing up for what you believe in.
yeah, I know people say to me sometimes, and they say, "Well, what's your cause? What is it?" Or my answer to anybody that wants to know what their cause is, I believe the cause is what you see in life and how you react to what you see.
Yeah.
And for me, growing up, from what I've seen, I've noticed that, well, this affects me. When you see limbless kids, when you see orphan kids, when you see kids who've just lost their parents, etc., crying deeply, profusely crying. It's not just upsetting, but I feel I need to speak. And I'm not Palestinian, I'm not Muslim, but I think the political parties that we see today, are they? The question is, are they? In my opinion, are they doing enough to prevent what's going on? Because I mean, George Galloway did say one thing. He turned around and said, if the majority of people around the world want peace, however, even though they want peace, you've got a handful of people at those majority that just want to proliferate with, land grabbing and war and killing and murdering. And, that to me is like, it's just shocking, and how bad it's gone. Thank you, sir. You're right. How you doing? You got your picture up now. Come on if you want. Yeah, we're talking a little bit of religion, not religion. We're talking a little bit of what's going on in the world and
politics.
How certain Christians are, how certain Christians aren't talking about and exposing what's going on. They're shying away, using silence as a cop out for not exposing the evils that are going on in Palestine. That's what we're talking about. And his brothers.
I think we might be moving into another phase. A better phase with what's going on. Yeah, I feel something's. Well, they're saying there's going to be probably a ceasefire for at least 2 months announced this week.
That's good. Yeah.
But
and also I think I know I've just been reading what I was saying was somebody's talking to me, reading their comments. What was I saying just now?
Who's Emmerich?
He's someone that I know. He says, look at
Sikh. I'm assuming he's a Sikh.
I don't, brother. I haven't seen him for a while, so I wouldn't know, brother.
Is he Sikh?
He's a Sikh, yeah. Emerich's a Sikh, yeah. Serge is involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Right. He's very much involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Evangelists.
They're a strange bunch. I do like them.
Did you hear that, Serge?
I do like them. I speak to a lot of them. They're always they're like the Mormons. They're always very smartly dressed. Do you know?
Yeah.
They turn out.
You know what? Yeah. I had a communication with two guys from the Church of the Latter-day Saints just a few weeks ago, and they just met me in town and they were telling me, and I said, "But you only preached for 2 years. When you're supposed to be it should be a long-term thing." Yeah.
I think there's the thing is with Christianity especially, it's so many branches. It's confusing trying to keep up with who believes what or thinks what.
Serge, I just saw I saw you. You're not involved with the witnesses no more. I'm a bit confused now, brother. Okay, sorry. What was you saying, brother?
I'm saying there's so many branches of Christianity. When you take the Latter-day Saints and the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons and all. I get a bit confused into what they're actually believing. Do you know what I mean?
You know what gets me is when certain churches talk about they keep talking about this person that founded the organization that's passed away.
Right.
That's not the most important.
Yeah.
The most important thing in life is to identify from the Bible
Mm.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Listen to his words.
Yeah.
Listen to what he directs you to do, and not just get overly extreme. Okay, but I will speak to you on I'll speak to you on Saturday. Yeah, I will have a conversation with you. But yeah, I think people just take it too far. You know.
I agree. No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think they lose.
And I was not running the organization down, but I was involved with them for a good few years.
Mm.
You know, and I I just it was just there was just that little bit of control there, you know, that I felt.
Well, you're kind of opting into somebody else's narrative, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. And what I don't like is when people start saying, "Well, it's this or it's that." Well,
Mm.
even in the Bible, it says, all Scripture's inspired of God. So all you need is the Bible, really.
Yeah.
If
I
you,
mean,
if you can read and understand that,
yeah,
you
but I
know.
would still question things in the Bible because, yes,
Yeah.
I wouldn't just accept it just because it says something. For example, Netanyahu is using old texts from the Old Testament or the Amaleks, I think they're called.
Yeah, just got some comments coming here. It says not all people practice what they preach. I totally agree with that, but I also say not all people. There's a lot of Christians out there that aren't saying what's going on. They're not exposing what's going on. To me,
Yeah, there is an absolute
a
Christian
good Christian
condemnation of it.
exposes. I mean, even in Scripture, yes, the Bible's the manual, as you said. Even in Scripture, Jesus overturned the tables. He says, "You've made my Father's house a den of robbers."
Mm.
You know. That's where I differ with most Christian organisations. I will speak about what's going on, you know, and expose it for what it is. You know, I'll expose it for what it is. It's not about culture because people are getting confused. Oh, somebody sent me something this morning saying, "Oh, talking about the Muslims," and saying that Muslims do this, and I said, "Stop it."
Yeah,
I said, "Not all Muslims do this.
yeah, absolutely.
There's a body of people that are rotten. There are some people that are rotten, but not all. You know, you can't say all, and you can't say all Christians are bad either. You know.
And I think most people are predominantly good. Most, and like you say, there's a section that are not, and they usually get the most voices or the most story, airtime. The negative narrative always gets the most airtime. Because listen, I'm going to go to bed because I'm absolutely knackered.
Brother, I'll try and come on earlier. I keep saying this, but I'll try and come on earlier. And next time, feel free to. What I'll do is I'll follow you, and when you're on, when do you go on live? What times normally?
I tend to start live streaming on Sunday about 1ish. Yeah.
Brother, can you send me an invite when you're on live, and I'll come on if you don't mind. Do you allow people to come on with you, or do you kind of like this?
I don't bring people up on the screen. I'll tell you why that is. There's a couple of reasons. One is because I have the camera in a selfie stick, so it's in a frame, and it's just impractical for me because I can't really see the screen properly because of the part of the frame where the camera is. It's blocking out the comments. So I'm not really able to do it. Just on a practical level, it's hard. And secondly, it's just trying to maneuver around with everything I'm carrying and deal with people coming up on the guest as well. It's just a bit impossible to do that. So what I do is I just go around with the camera, I film, I leave it going. I kind of try to look at the comments here and there when I can, but I can't really, and I speak, and you'll hear my voice, but I won't really be interacting with the comments on the line, and if I had a guest up trying to do it at the same time, it would be difficult.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. You're welcome to come on any of my lives because it's been a nice pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Vikas.
I would like to know more about you. I would like to know about what you're streaming this week. If I could catch up with you in a couple of days' time or whatever,
I'll be there. I'll be there.
The content's been good, brother.
Yeah. I do good. I try to kind of consistently, being a bit lackadaisical this week. So I went to London Zoo on Tuesday and spent the day there, and I filmed from London, live stream from London. So I kind of live stream a bit most days to kind of build up my followers.
Roger, brother, just send me a message, and if I can come on, I will, and I'll just see what you're doing, brother. I'd love to talk. I'd love to talk to you again, you know. So I want to follow you back as well, brother. Okay, so have a lovely evening. Get yourself some rest.
Yeah, I'm tired now.
You leave the night to the night owls for the time being.
All right, Vikas. Nice to meet you.
Brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Do you believe in the Holy Spirit? Yes, I do. Look at my videos. You'll see. Look at my content. I did a coaching content, a reflections video, and I mentioned the Holy Spirit in that. It's been nice to see you talking about Jesus. It was on my miss. Okay. All right. Yeah.